Today we have our fourth championship case of 2022. We've covered Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, and now we're going to talk about the 2021 Cup Series champion, Kyle Larson. Of course, Kyle Larson is the most recent winner in the NASCAR Cup Series. He won yesterday at Watkins Glen, and of course he has another win back in February at Fontana. So Larson, it has not been as good of a year as last year, obviously, but at the same time, it's very difficult to replicate what he did last year. Of course, last year he had 10 wins, won the NASCAR Cup Series championship, won the regular season championship. They did everything right last year. It's not that they've necessarily been doing things wrong this year. It's just that when you set the expectation so high the one year and the next year you're not doing almost the same thing, it's a little bit difficult. And now, of course, Kyle Larson, he was actually my championship pick coming into this year. I picked him to be the first repeat winner in this format, so we're going to talk about his chances at the championship, give some stats on his 2022 season so far. So yeah, let's talk about it. After yesterday's race at Watkins Glen, he moved up to second in the regular season standings. That is the highest he can go. Of course, 10 playoff points come with finishing second in the playoff standings. So as I say for every other driver, get as many playoff points as you can. So the way Larson can maximize is by finishing second in the regular season standings, getting more wins, stage wins, things like that, and he did that yesterday with a win. On the season, he has 2 wins, as I just stated, 10 top 5s, 13 top 10s, 307 laps led. He is tied for the most top 5s in the Cup Series with Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain. So yes, while it has not been the crazy 2021 season that Larson had, he has still had a very impressive season with second in the points, tied for the most top 5s, and he has a couple of wins. Now, as for the playoffs themselves, looking at the schedule, I actually like this schedule for Kyle Larson. It favors him a good bit. You look at this first round, he currently has, if the standings were to stay, if he were to finish second in the points, if he were to, keep all the playoff points, all the stuff he has right now, he would currently have 23 playoff points. And that is obviously, it's right now 16 or 17 above the guy at the bottom of the grid with 5 or 6 points. So yeah, looking at this first round, I'm not concerned about it at all. Darlington has been one of Larson's best tracks. Even though he doesn't have a win there, it has been one of his best tracks. He didn't finish in the spring, so, not a ton of experience in the next-gen car, but it's still Kyle Larson. He's a wheelman. He knows how to get it done, and that DNF in the spring was not to his doing. I think they had an engine blow up. Then as for Kansas, he was competing for the win in the spring against Kurt Busch, so, he was really good there. He won at Kansas last fall, I believe. Can't remember if he won the spring as well. He won a lot of races last year. It's hard to remember which ones he won. Anyways, yeah, he looked really good at Kansas in the spring. And then Bristol, he's the defending winner of that race. He's always been really good at Bristol. So that first round, even if he didn't have playoff points, I would not be concerned for him. He's got those playoff points. I think he could run top 5. Heck, he could win all 3 of these races. He's that good at all of these tracks. So this first round, I'm not concerned about at all. Second round, it's actually a decent bunch of tracks for Larson. Of course, last year he swept Texas, winning the All-Star race, and then he won the fall race to make it into the championship 4. And then this year, just like Darlington, he crashed out early, so it's really hard to tell how he was going to do in the next-gen car. I think he was top 5 at the time, but at the same time, it was impossible to pass at Texas, so the track position was so important. So yeah, that's a question mark, but at the same time, he was really good there last year in Hendrick equipment. He's been decent at pretty much all the mile and a halves this year. Las Vegas, Kansas, as we said, Charlotte, he looked good. So, he should be pretty good up there. He should be at the front. As for Talladega, he finished top 5 at Talladega in the spring. He's one of the worst super speedway racers. Him and Truex, as good as they are, they just cannot do good at the super speedways, and they both finished in the top 5 this spring at Talladega. So yeah, that's Talladega still, but if he does good enough at Texas, I think he's going to have enough of a points gap that he can go survival mode there, Hope that other guys wreck out, hope that there's not a winner below the cutoff line, and he should be fine. Yeah, but if he continues to have his bad luck, it could be a little tricky going into the Roval, but the Charlotte Roval, Kyle Larson is the defending winner. He's one of the best road course racers in the series with Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick. He's in a Chevrolet, which is one of the last 11 road course races. So, yeah, even if he has a crash at Talladega, as long as he does a top 5, top 10 at Texas, gets some stage points, I think he should be fine at the Roval. Yeah, so not overly concerned on that round, but Talladega is a toss-up. It's going to be a toss-up for everyone, but just because of how bad Larson has been at super speedways, I don't know. Yeah, he got top 5 at the spring, but honestly, the spring race was pretty clean for the most part. No real crash fest at all. There was a couple wrecks, but nothing crazy. The last green flag run went 30 laps or something. So, yeah, I don't know how that race is going to go. That's the only question mark. Other than that, Texas and the Roval, he should be fine. So I would expect him to move into the round of 8. As for the round of 8, once again, a favorable kind of setup for Larson here. Las Vegas, he finished second in the spring, was up in the top 10 all day long. Of course, that last restart against his teammate Alex Bowman, he just lost out on. And then Homestead. Homestead has always been a great track for Kyle Larson. He doesn't have any wins there, but he has led a ton of laps there back with Chip Ganassi Racing. He ran 3rd there last year, I think. So he's been really good at Homestead, Miami, running the wall. That kind of thing. He's just done extremely well there, and he has yet to get a win. So you'd think with all the good runs he's had at Homestead Miami Speedway, he's bound to win there, right? So yeah, those first 2 races, I'm not concerned. I expect Larson to run top 5 there, potentially win some stages, even contend for the win in both of those races. Probably will be the favorite to win at Homestead. But then the last race is where it gets tricky. If Larson is in a close points battle going into Martinsville, this is where I'm concerned. Martinsville is one of his worst tracks. I don't know why, but he just is not great at Martinsville. He finished 19th in the spring. He's never won at Martinsville. I don't know what his best finish is at Martinsville. I think it's like 4th or something, but for some reason Martinsville just does not suit his style. So my biggest concern for Kyle Larson in this whole playoff, first round, second round, and third round, would be Martinsville being the cutoff. If he doesn't run top 5 at Vegas and Homestead, if he doesn't win one of those races, he potentially has a crash in one of those races, something like that, and Martinsville is the cutoff race and he's behind the cut line, I would be very concerned if I was Kyle Larson, especially if you're in a round with like Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, William Byron even. Any of those guys, they are better at Martinsville than Kyle Larson. And Larson against those guys, as good as Larson is behind the wheel, as great as he has been the last couple of years, Martinsville, that's a concern. But I really do think he has a shot at winning Vegas and Homestead. So I think if he makes it to that round of 8, I think he wins one of those races, specifically Homestead. So then that way he doesn't even have to worry about Martinsville. As for Phoenix, I mean, this format, it's a toss-up, obviously, but he's the defending winner of this race. Didn't finish in the spring due to a mechanical failure again. So they can't have mechanical failures in this playoff. They cannot. But yeah, so Phoenix, he's the defending winner of this race. He's won in this format before. Back before 2019, it was Larson can't get out of the round of 12. Back when he was at Chip Ganassi Racing, he was one of the championship favorites in 2017. He got eliminated in the round of 12. So everyone looked at Larson like, oh, he can't make it past the round of 12. He's cursed. But then finally in 2019, he made it to the round of 8, and the curse was broken. And then, of course, last year he made that championship run. So he knows how to get it done. He knows how to win. He knows how to win under high pressure, which I think is to his advantage. We talked about that with Joey Logano, with Chase Elliott. They have both done the same thing. So Larson has something like if he was up against a Tyler Reddick or something in the championship, or even someone like a Ross Chastain, either of those guys. Yes, those guys know how to win races. They've made it this far so far, but they haven't won under that much pressure like Kyle Larson has in the Cup Series. So I think that's something that Kyle Larson has to his advantage against some guys who potentially have not been in that position in the Cup Series. But yes, so to wrap this up, as I say with everyone, get yourself as many playoff points as possible. That is so important to get playoff points. Next thing up, first round, not concerned. Even the second round, I'm not too concerned. Even if he crashes out at Talladega, he could go out and win the Roval. Third round, my concern would be if he doesn't win one of those first 2 races or has a bad race and he has to rely on Martinsville to point his way in or as a must-win. That would be my biggest concern. But I do think he could win Homestead. And then, of course, the final point would be Phoenix. Phoenix is the championship format. One of these years, something stupid is going to happen. Like all 4 of them are going to wreck out or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. But thanks for watching this. Tomorrow's championship format, I don't know who it's going to be if I had to guess. Like probably Reddick or something. Byron maybe. I think. Byron, that could be right. Yeah, it looks like Byron will be tomorrow. So Kyle Larson's teammate, William Byron. All 4 Hendrick cars are in the playoffs. Kurt Busch locked in his playoff spot yesterday due to the fact that there was not a 16th winner. But as for everything else, there's still 1 spot to be determined. Will it be Ryan Blaney? Will it be Martin Truex Jr.? Will it be a new winner? We'll see how it is. But thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said, another championship case coming for you tomorrow.